Jonathan and Celine were the couple everyone envied. They met in college, shared a passion for classic literature, and seemed destined for a life together, filled with cozy nights and intellectual debates. Jonathan was a hopeless romantic, always leaving little notes for Celine, surprising her with her favorite flowers and planning weekend getaways. He trusted her completely, seeing her as his partner in every sense of the word. For 5 years, their love story felt like a modern-day fairy tale. Jonathan was even saving up for an engagement ring, picturing the moment he'd ask Celine to be his wife. But fairy tales, as we know, can sometimes take a dark turn. Jonathan started noticing small changes. Celine became more distant. Her phone was always face down, and she started working late more often, claiming a new demanding project at her marketing firm. Jonathan, ever trusting, tried to be supportive. He'd make her dinner, wait up for her, and brush off his concerns as simple paranoia. He didn't want to be that jealous boyfriend, especially when Celine always assured him he had nothing to worry about. The trust he had built for 5 years was a fortress, and he wasn't going to let a few late nights tear it down. The fortress crumbled one Tuesday evening. Celine had called to say she was stuck in a client dinner and would be home very late. Feeling lonely, Jonathan decided to surprise his best friend, Mark, with some pizza and video games. As he pulled up to Mark's apartment building, his heart stopped. There, parked in a visitor spot, was Celine's car. Confusion turned to a cold, sickening dread. He walked into the lobby, his hands trembling as he buzzed Mark's apartment. No answer. He buzzed again. Silence. Then, through the building's intercom, he heard faint laughter, Celine's laughter. He didn't confront them. Instead, a chilling calm washed over him. The hurt was immense, a physical ache in his chest. But it was quickly being overshadowed by a new, sharp-edged feeling. Determination. He drove home, the pizza box sitting untouched on the passenger seat. That night, Jonathan didn't sleep. He saw everything with a painful new clarity, the whispered phone calls, the sudden work trips, the way she'd started hiding her screen. The betrayal wasn't just from his girlfriend, but from his best friend. It was a wound so deep he knew it would never fully heal, but he wasn't going to let them get away with it. The next morning, Jonathan acted as if nothing had happened. When Celine came home, reeking of cheap perfume and guilt, he just smiled and asked how her dinner was. The lies flowed effortlessly from her lips. This was the opening he needed. Celine worked for a major family-oriented brand, a company that prided itself on its wholesome image. She was also the lead on their biggest upcoming campaign. Jonathan, being a gifted writer, knew her work inside and out. He also knew her passwords. Over the next week, Jonathan meticulously gathered evidence. He logged into her cloud storage, finding photos, dozens of them, of Celine and Mark together. Not just recently, but for months. He found emails and messages that detailed their affair, mocking his trust and naivety. He saved everything to a secure drive. He then crafted an anonymous, professional-looking email. It contained a detailed timeline of the affair, complete with dates, locations, and a curated selection of the most damning photos and messages. It painted a picture not just of infidelity, but of two people maliciously deceiving a loving partner. The Friday before Celine's big campaign launch, Jonathan executed his plan. He sent the email, not just to Celine's boss, but to the entire executive board, the HR department, and the CEO of the family-oriented brand she worked for. The subject line was simple: regarding the integrity of your upcoming campaign. Within an hour, Celine's phone was blowing up. By Monday morning, she had been called into an emergency meeting and was promptly fired for gross misconduct that violated her contract's morality clause. The campaign was pulled, costing the company a fortune and destroying her professional reputation. Mark didn't fare any better. Jonathan sent a separate, more personal package to Mark's long-term girlfriend, a woman he knew casually. It contained a simple letter and a USB drive with all the evidence. Their relationship predictably imploded. Jonathan blocked both of their numbers and deleted them from his life. He never spoke to them again. He packed his things, moved to a new city, and started over. The pain was still there, a dull echo in his heart, but with it was a sense of justice. He didn't find joy in their ruin, but he found peace in knowing that their betrayal did not go unanswered. His revenge wasn't loud or violent. It was quiet, calculated, and utterly devastating. And that, for Jonathan, was the final chapter in their broken fairy tale. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for more stories.